The summit of Zirakzigil, or the Silvertine, exists in a state of permanent isolation. At this altitude, the peak sits entirely above the cloud layer, separated from the weather systems and biological cycles of the world below. This is a lifeless environment, characterized by thin air, high solar radiation, and temperatures that remain perpetually below freezing. Nothing naturally survives here. Because of this extreme height, the legend of the endless stair remained a myth for generations. Many dwarves believed the structure was never built, or had been lost to time in the deeps of Moria. But the engineering reality is preserved in the rock. This vertical cross-section shows an unbroken spiral consisting of thousands of steps, carved manually into the mountain's granite core to connect the subterranean tunnels to the highest point of the peak.
Geography. The endless stair breaches the surface at the mountain's geographical apex, terminating at the base of what was once Durin's tower. The granite at this exit point shows signs of high-velocity impact. Large blocks of stone were shattered and thrown outward, creating a debris field that radiates away from the stairwell opening. To eject solid rock from an internal tunnel requires an immense upward pressure. The trajectory of the debris indicates a focused force originating from the deeps, pushing toward the surface with enough intensity to breach the mountain's crust. Historical records and geological traces pin this event to a 72-hour window between January 23 and 25, 3019. This explosive displacement proves the upward expulsion of two specific energy sources. The combined power required to clear this exit exceeds the known physical laws governing the structural integrity of stone. Once the combatants reached the peak, the fighting centered on the foundation of Durin's tower, which is now reduced to a pool of melted slag. Observers in the valleys below recorded what appeared to be a massive storm crowning the mountain. These flashes and concussions represent the release of massive thermal and kinetic energy as the combatants exchanged blows above the clouds. This chart shows the temperature required to vitrify mountain granite into hollow glass fulgurites, proving a thermal event beyond typical lightning. The clash of abyssal fire and elemental light created an anomaly exceeding the sun's surface, radiating a heat wave that melted the tower's architecture. The destruction of Durin's tower was not a structural failure. It was a sustained, localized vaporization of solid stone.
At the very heart of this melted slag, we find the epicenter of the final exchange. The center of the crater is coated in a thick, distinct layer of metallic gray ash. Chemical analysis identifies this ash as the physical, biological residue of a demonic entity. It represents the signature of a form burning itself out through total energy depletion. Resting in the middle of this residue are the shattered, hollowed-out splinters of a white wooden staff. This specific location marks the point of total energy transfer. It was here that the Balrog's physical defenses were finally broken, resulting in a catastrophic release that leveled the remaining tower. Away from the crater, the jagged, rocky terrain drops off into a sheer precipice overlooking the frozen cloud layer below. A deep fissure is sliced through the granite edge of the peak. As the freezing atmospheric vapor hits this superheated stone, the moisture instantly crystallizes, coating the smoking fissure in a layer of heavy ice. This mark follows the trajectory of the Balrog's fall. The kinetic impact of its mass shattered the lower mountainside as it struck the slopes far below. The victor also suffered a total biological collapse. Gandalf passed out of thought and time, his physical form lying motionless on the peak for 19 days before he was recovered. The summit of Zirakzigil stands as a monument to this clash. Here, the physical world acted as collateral damage for a war between two cosmic powers.